is you need to learn how to manage the little you have. Now, once you start selling, you start getting certain little income. Don't spend, learn how to manage them. The scripture tells that God says, if you cannot be trusted with little, how can I trust you with much? Now, there are a lot of people who believe that, oh, this thing I'm getting is little. When I start getting more, things will be okay. Look, it's not true. When I was at the college, my thought was that if I start taking allowance, things will be okay. I start taking allowance, 300 Ghana cedi. Then I start feeling like, no. If I start taking salary, it will be okay. Now I'm taking salary, and trust me, I'm still complaining. And I know those people with masters, they are complaining. People with PhD are complaining. Look, if you cannot manage 10 cedi, you cannot manage 100 cedi. If you cannot manage 100 cedi, you cannot manage 1,000 Ghana cedi. Management has nothing to do with how much you earn. There are people who take 500 Ghana cedi, and how they are able to manage. They are able to do certain things even people with 2,000 cannot do. So management is key if you really want to succeed in life. Now, in the field of management, there are certain things you need to take very good care of. And the first one has to do with savings. It has to do with savings. In fact, I was reading a book on finance, and that book states that the first principle under management is part of all you earn is yours to keep. What this means is that you pay a sandals maker, you pay a cloth maker, you pay people who fix your hair. Why don't you also pay yourself? Or you want to continue working for them, you have to also pay yourself. Now, there are people who complain that they will not be able to save anything. Now, let me give you some few scriptures that will in a way inspire you to also start saving. The first wisdom from the scriptures is that the wise man saves for the future, but the foolish man spends whatever he gets. You see, if you does not save, trust me, in future you'll be a beggar. You need to save for your future. If you don't save, then you have no future. People with future, they are those who save. So you must learn how to save for your future. If you get 100% of your income, make sure that 10% is saved for your future, or else it will be hard for you. Now, there's another scripture that in a way will assist you to learn how to save. That take a lesson from the ant, you lazy fellow. Learn from their ways and be wise. For though they have no king to make them work, yet they labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. Even an ant know that the fact that today is summer, winter might come, and is able to save. How come you, a full human being, you must also learn how to save? Because you can be sacked from your work. If you are sacked from your work, you will start begging, and that is a tragedy. Now, there's one of my favorite mentor. He also says something regarding saving. That if you cannot save, then the seeds of greatness are not in you. Savings are not meant for children. Savings are not meant for children. If you really want to save, then you have to be strong. It takes great people to save. It takes great people, because savings, master, the difficulties are many, the burdens are many. But for the past 15 years, you've been trying to solve those problems. Are they solved? There's no amount of money that can solve your problems. Problems duplicate. So you try to solve them, but make sure the part of the money is saved for your future, or else you will not enjoy your life. You will start working because you have no option. And if you are working because you have no option, you'll be depressed. You will not be happy. And if you are not happy, what else is there? Now, there's another quotation given by George Clason, the writer of The Richest Man in Babylon. He says that the key to financial success is to pay yourself first. Before you do anything, before you spend, make sure that you save for your future. Now, what the wealthy, the rich people does is that they spend after saving, but the poor spend before they save. Now, if you are to spend, your needs are abundance. Your needs are more than your income. So by the time you finish spending on your needs, master, you have nothing to save. You cannot save. So it's a trick. Immediately you get your money, 10% of that money must be saved. Then you eat the other 90%. Now, this is one of my favorite quotes when it comes to finance. The person who gave this statement was from a very poor background, and today he's very, very wealthy. And he gave this quote I'm about to read to you to help we the young guys to understand the concept about money. Listen to what he said. Wealth is like a tree. It grows from a tiny seed. The first amount of money you save is the seed from which your tree of wealth shall grow. The sooner you plant that seed, the sooner shall the tree grow. And the more faithful you nourish and water that tree with consistent savings, the sooner shall you reap what you sow. So, I'll advise my youth. I know the amount of money you are getting is not enough. But remember, spending and saving, which of them will really increase your income? The savings are meant to invest. Just like the slipper boy, he saved and I made him invest. And that has helped him to even gain his slipper in addition with money again. Now, I would like to touch on something very, very important. What do you spend your money on? Is it liabilities or asset? When I was at the college, I never knew the difference between asset and liability. So my list was to buy Combien for myself, my Puka for my wife, get a flat screen TV, air condition. All these things were liabilities. Liabilities are things that takes money from you. Assets are things that bring money for you. When I realized it, I sold my Combien, I added money and I bought my photocopier. Then I realized that at the end of the term, I will do photocopy for this school, get 300 Ghana cedis, this school 200 Ghana, this school 1.5. Then I started my container. Today I'm proud to say I have 2 workers at the shop right now. They're taking care of my container. You see, my dear youth, saving, investing, and learn what you spend your money on. Spend your money on asset, not liability. And trust me, with God, things might change for you. Well, I'm done with this conclusion. Stay tuned in the